When you think of ancient Greece, what comes to your mind? How about Alexander III of Macedon, who conquered the known world and proclaimed himself King of Kings? Or do you imagine Leonidas and the 300 Spartans making a final stand at Thermopylae against the Persian horde? While all these images are really impressive in their own right, one of the first things that comes to my mind is the Parthenon, which has a greater legacy than those conquerors and kings of old. The Parthenon is the remains of an ancient temple in Athens, the capital of modern-day Greece. The original building's construction began in 447 BC, or about 33 years after the Second Persian invasion, where Leonidas made his last stand, as mentioned earlier. The temple's original dedication was held in 438 BC, however decorative sculpting continued until 432 BC. The temple itself remained untouched during Roman occupation, and when the Hellenic Peninsula converted to Christianity, the temple itself was converted into an Orthodox church. The Parthenon remained a church until 1458, when Ottoman Turks took over the city and the temple was converted into a mosque. It would remain a mosque until Greek independence in July of 1832. During a war with the Venetians in 1687, when the Parthenon was still a mosque and under Ottoman control, a large portion of the temple was destroyed when an Ottoman powder magazine stored nearby exploded. Now, this history is all good, but what is the Parthenon's significance? I believe I hear you asking. Well, that's a good question. The Parthenon was originally the temple dedicated to Athena, Greek god of wisdom, and the city of Athens' namesake. It was constructed in such a way to represent architectural perfection. Now, whether the concept of perfection is real or not is another can of worms, but we're not fishing for that answer. While most of the temple itself has collapsed, most of the original structure remains standing today as a testament to the longevity of the buildings of antiquity, like the pyramids in Egypt. The temple also serves as sort of a cultural and historical landmark. After all of the conversions to a church and then a mosque, and then even after its partial destruction, the people of Athens still came together in 1975 to begin restoring the temple, an ongoing effort which continues to this day. Inside the temple are carvings depicting the Greco-Persian Wars. Yes, wars as in more than one. The rivalry between the two nations is ongoing, with Iran and Greece seizing each other's cargo ships in recent times, but that's besides the point. There are a few points of interest I wish to cover about the Parthenon as well. The temple was built out of a special kind of marble called Pentelic marble, which is native to Dionysus of Attica, just outside the city of Athens. The marble was laid in the Doric peripheral fashion, which has a rectangular floor plan with low steps on all sides and an 8x17 colonnade in the center. While much of the temple has been preserved, many structures were removed and now reside in museums in Copenhagen, London, Paris, and so on. While considered to be architecturally perfect, as discussed earlier, the structure uses optical refinements to facilitate the look of perfection. In layman's terms, it tricks your eyes into looking good. Around the temple grounds are 92 carved marble blocks called metopes. These metopes depict ancient events in Greek history and mythology, such as Amazonmachy, a battle between the ancient Greeks and the mythical Amazons. There are only a few more interesting facts I wish to cover. The Parthenon was built to replace two previous temples in Athens. The whole construction project cost 470 talents of silver. In modern money, $7 million US. Fairly cheap considering modern spending, but back then it was different. While it looks barren and, frankly, quite bland on the outside, traces of paint have been found within the Parthenon, which suggests that at one point, the entire structure was painted in vibrant colors such as red and blue. During its restoration, which began in 1975, marble was mined from Dionysus of Attica, the same region which the original marble for the temple came from. You could say they came full circle when it comes to that. One final fact I find interesting is that the original structure was maintained for 2 centuries before any major changes were made. That's 200 years. Our nation celebrated its bicentennial in 1976, which was not even 50 years ago. So my friends, before you write off the next ancient building as another tourist trap, take some time to explore and study before you jump to conclusions. Who knows? You might learn something new. Thank you for your time.